Not only is the Senna a great driver's car on the track, it's also a great driver's car on the road. So we've just come to another day, the final bit of testing on the Senna. We've got the verification prototypes, the VPs here, and we're basically assessing dynamics, we're assessing performance, and the team's had a great day just doing the final finishing touches to the development and the setup of the car. So the McLaren Senna on the road shares the DNA that we've been developing since the very first 12C. There's a lot of things going on, but the senses and the way the Senna plays on your senses, the engagement, the way that the car transmits through the steering wheel, through the seat, and really gives you that sense that you're at one with the car. We have the powertrain and handling modes within the car setup to enable the driver to really tailor the car to their driving characteristics or even the road conditions. The level of aerodynamic downforce, the level of grip and the power that this car generates is absolutely fantastic. And that whole experience, not only the way it looks, the way it sounds and the way it feels when you're driving, come together in an amazing package. It represents all things good about McLaren, all of the technology coming together, the innovation, the engineering in a single product. Yeah, it's almost like it was alive.
To produce a car that's named after one of our most famous racing drivers, if not the most famous racing driver, is an honour. Senna stood for his dedication, pursuit of perfection, excellence in everything he did.
It's very easy to talk about racing achievements, but the most inspirational thing here was to honor a guy that did every single thing in his career, in his life, the best way possible. We had to transmit that and put it into the skin of the car. The McLaren Senna is the most extreme vehicle McLaren ever made. When we received the briefing, the numbers were staggering. For our normal design language, which was like, whoa, this is the limit, we are not doing this. But then we had to learn to design in extreme performance. It represented making a huge change in our design language in order to provide the level of performance the company was expecting. The design language is extreme, it's very aggressive. As you can see, the vehicle around is fragmented. It tells you a story of air, a story of performance.
It's the intricacy, the layering, you can see the way the air flows through, over and underneath the panels. It really is quite an incredible piece of art and design.
Imagine we shrink wrap the surfaces so much that at some point we need to cut it. That's why you have as a result fragmented volumes, discontinuous shapes. This is because we needed to deliver in each single component very high levels of performance. The multiple dive planes around the intakes by the front of the vehicle, these are active, so we had to develop a design that allows not only dive planes, which are difficult normally to blend into a design, but active dive planes. When you move backwards, you will see that the car is completely open behind the rear wheel because all the air you channel from the front has to go through the body side. The rear wing delivers more downforce than any GT race car.
The first time anyone climbs into the McLaren Senna, the first thing that hits them is just how reduced the design is in a really, really positive way. It's about taking away what you don't need, making it as simple as you can, but no simpler. And really, by doing that, you allow the person to engage on the driving experience to the absolute maximum.
Every single component of the car is capable of the best. It's capable of delivering more speed, delivering more downforce, delivering more thrill, delivering more connection to the driver. I hope they see a race car. I hope they see in every component the functionality it has. I hope they can walk around and understand it, and I hope they want to drive it. I hope everybody wants to drive it.
It's like nothing else out there on the market. It takes everything to a whole new level in regards to performance.
The McLaren Senna has been designed, engineered and developed with one single purpose in mind, to be the ultimate track car. There's a number of things you can change on the McLaren Senna when getting to a racetrack. Race mode on the Senna lowers the car. You can use that to really get the car very low on ride height and get as close to a race car as you possibly could get. We've moved the hardware on from the P1 now, so the initial ride height can be a little bit higher, which enables the car to have the best of both worlds. Those slower, bumpier corners, you can have a car that is still very, very responsive. Increased speeds, the compression from the downforce stiffens the springs on the car, so you're very low on the deck, so you get zero roll on the car at those higher speeds. It helps massively with stability going into quick turns on track. As well as that, we have a full active aero on the front and rear of the car, designed to keep the optimal aerodynamic balance throughout a lap. For example, when the car is heavily in pitch in a heavy braking zone, we can bleed off the flaps at the front of the car to decrease the amount of front downforce, enables you to get a nice balanced car at the crucial point into the apex. It's a big task for us to calibrate for all the different circuits, but we're trying to get this car through as many circuits as we possibly can in development, more so than we ever have done before. Not only our proving ground, but also more of a Formula One circuit feel as well. The feel and response when you're into a heavy braking zone is really fantastic, which is crucially important for track driving to shorten those braking zones down. It's a fantastic raw experience on track with this car. There really is nothing that separates it from a race car when you're out there on circuit in race mode, just you and the dynamics of a very, very stiff, very, very fast car.
I've waited a really long time for a road car to perform like a race car. And this is it. This is the real deal. It's literally the most brutal, fastest road car I've ever driven. I couldn't believe it. In race mode, the car feels just like a race car. The engine is connected straight to the car, so you can really feel the vibrations. You can hear the induction, you can hear everything going on. 800 kilos of downforce. When I arrived at the fast corners, you can only believe how much grip it has in the high speed when you attack the corners fast. But then you come to the low speed and the car feels so nimble. She really changes direction really nicely. The steering communicates so much, and you really can trust what the car is going to do just on the next corner, on the next moment. The suspension really does a great job of keeping the car nice and flat. The performance from low speed to high speed is very similar, so you can get a nice consistent feel and the confidence as well to attack the corners. And especially on the braking areas, that's where you really hit the brakes and the car just stops like a single seater. It's amazing.
it.